Today the Holland History House is all about national identity. And with the recent World Cup craziness and today's lecture about sports and international relations in mind, we're gonna talk about how sports influences national identity. How does football or sports in general influence international relations?
Well, I think it's become a very important character in many countries, but I think particularly for smaller countries because it can be a way of asserting themselves against more powerful neighbours. A good example would be Scotland against England, or perhaps I would say the Netherlands against Germany.
If you take the example of France, it's clear because in the 10 last years, the victory of France in the World Cup spread the image of a multicultural country. What was virtuous in 1998? It means this. This diversity of players was considered now as a problem.
The first video you're gonna see is a video about commercialism and orange craziness.
Well, I suppose I saw the crazy world of advertising, and I think, as said before, the importance of something like the World Cup is particularly big in smaller countries with big neighbours, particularly with the histories of rivalries with Germany. But I think nonetheless there's a kind of fantasy world which is being created in which the whole of life is being taken over.
It means also maybe that the nationalism can be expressed in a less aggressive way through sports. But that's I think the peculiar character of the World Cups.
I think sport, because it has a clear winner and loser, is a very clear-cut way of asserting the superiority of your nation over others.
Now you're gonna see one of the most memorable moments of the last World Cup final.
That in this example, television is really important because some little things like that as now watched by millions and millions of persons, and what escaped to the journalist and to a great part of the crowd now is considered as sometimes as a state affair.
Football has always been a fairly violent game. Many sports, violence is an intrinsic element and doesn't necessarily endanger relations between the countries, although I can think of one example. There's a famous series of cricket matches between England and Australia, which England won by what we could believe to be violent tactics, and at the time this was seen as endangering relationships between the two countries.